Good morning. My name is Tom, and today I'm revisiting the Stephen Righini shooting video because I got a message, and I don't usually respond publicly via video to such things, and I did provide a clear and concise response tailored to that specific individual, but I think there's more to be said that can be beneficial to everybody. So we'll start with the comment. So sorry that you felt the need to discuss Stephen Righini. One should never talk about people they don't know. Mr. Righini was a nice person. Funny, kind, smart, and not like that at all. If you were an intelligent person, you could have put one and two together. I saw a person in need of help having some sort of breakdown, or onto the wrong medicine. New marriage, new baby, very young, wife most likely immature, not certain on how to care for a baby. The world is not perfect. Not everyone is as perfect as you think you are. I feel so sorry how you can judge others. Look in the mirror and please judge yourself. I see there is room for improvement. God bless you and forgive you for judging someone you never really knew. Isn't that last little bit sweet? They blessed me, and they're praying for my forgiveness. So like I said, I gave the person an individual response, so I'll just give you the broad strokes of it real quick. I've acknowledged that, yes, he did have a psychotic break, and some of the factors behind it, and some of the signs on, how such things happen. And I discussed, very specifically that this was a grown adult man who engaged in a sexual relationship with a teenager, a legal one, barely, and that he hit his wife, shot at cops, barricaded himself in a house with a baby, then ran for it, killed a police dog, and put a round in a cop's shoulder. Oh, and he spent a whole lot of time scapegoating DEI, wokeness, and gay people for his actions. So yeah, he really is like that. Now, this is a phenomenon I'm very familiar with, I've seen, I've experienced, sometimes I've benefited from. Although it just kind of makes me cringe when, that happens. See, people get an image in their mind of an individual or even groups of people. And, I was enlisted. And a lot of times people will automatically throw you respect for being, someone who served their country. The flip side of it is people are like, you can't ever speak bad of, service members. There are heroes, and, anything that casts folks like me in a negative light, a lot of people instantly jump on and say, you can't do that, how dare you, that's being disrespectful. And, 20 years later, the commandant of the service is answering questions in front of the Senate regarding physical, psychological, and sexual abuse within the service that's been taking place all this time that we're not supposed to talk about or acknowledge happens. So just because your experience of a person is good, it does not mean that that is a good person. Just because David Duke is nice to this blonde-haired, tall, white dude, that doesn't make David Duke a good person. And if you don't know who that is, look it up. It's he's a bit out of date. So let's get on to a little bit more of the language in this. The author of this comment said that the wife was young and probably immature and doesn't know how to care for a baby, and they've got a new baby. This is the language of domestic violence. There's two things I don't want this channel ever used to promote. One is domestic violence, and two is the abuse and sexualization of kids. And right now we have both going on. Admittedly, it doesn't legally count in Maine. But for me personally, a 28-year-old knocking up a 17-year-old, that counts. And to suggest that hypothetically the wife may have been immature and unaware of how to care for a baby, this suggests that it's somehow partially her responsibility that her husband hit her. That's also not acceptable. There is no shade of gray here, especially when it's a grown adult hitting a kid. Especially when it's a grown adult who gets to know kids in the biblical sense. Because, clearly we are talking about somebody who is well versed in the Bible. So I just want to, take one more look at it. Not everybody is as perfect as you think you are. Not getting sexually involved with teenagers, not engaging in domestic violence, and not blaming other people for your failures is not a demand for perfection. That's not even a demand for mediocrity. That is a demand that people live up to the bare minimum standards of not being a terrible person. So save your prayers because you need them for yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.